You're probably drowning in clutter right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, aren't you? It's everywhere. The endless to-do lists, the notifications, the distractions that pull you in 100 different directions. And let me guess, you've tried getting more organized before, only to feel like you're back at square one a few days later. What if I told you that the key to unlocking your highest potential isn't about doing more, but about doing less? That's right. Minimalism isn't just for decluttering your closet. It's the secret weapon for achieving peak performance. And no, I'm not talking about tossing everything out or living like you're in some austere monastery. This is about creating a sharp, focused environment, both outside and inside, that enables you to crush your goals with laser-like precision. Stick with me, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can implement minimalism into your life the right way to unlock your true potential and perform at your best. This isn't just another life hack video, it's a mindset shift. If you're ready to take control of your life and perform like never before, hit that play button and let's dive in. Number 1, the ruthless purge principle. You don't need more stuff. You need less, but better. That's a bold statement, isn't it? But trust me, we're diving into something that will challenge everything you think you know about productivity, focus, and even happiness. I'm talking about the ruthless purge principle. And no, this isn't just another decluttering tip. This is about taking a scalpel to your life and cutting out the dead weight. No apologies, no second guessing. Skeptical? Yeah, I get it. It might sound extreme, but stay with me, and I'll show you how this seemingly harsh mindset can be the kindest thing you ever do for yourself. We've all been there, feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of things in our lives. You know the type: drawers stuffed with clothes you never wear, notifications pinging like an annoying toddler, and commitments you regret agreeing to the moment you say yes. It's that sinking realization that your energy is being siphoned off by a million little things, none of which truly matter, and yet somehow you convince yourself, I might need this one day, or I don't want to let them down. Sound familiar? Yeah, we've all been caught in that trap. Here's where the ruthless purge principle comes in. It's simple. If something doesn't serve you, it goes. No, maybe later. No, but what if? If it's not a definitive yes, it's an undeniable no. Clothes you haven't worn in a year, donate them. That hobby you've been meaning to get back to, but haven't touched in 5 years, let it go. Toxic people who drain your energy, cut them loose. Kindly but firmly. It's not about being cruel, it's about being clear. Because every single thing in your life, whether it's an object, a habit, or a relationship, takes up space. And that space is your most valuable resource. Let me give you a real-life example. A few months ago, I was drowning in digital chaos. Emails, apps, endless tabs open on my laptop. My desktop was a minefield of random files. Every time I sat down to work, it felt like trying to write a novel in the middle of a carnival. So I did something drastic. I deleted everything that wasn't essential. Apps, gone. Files, sorted and backed up or trashed. Email subscriptions, unsubscribed in bulk. It took a weekend, but by Monday the clarity I felt was nothing short of transformative. Suddenly my mind wasn't cluttered. I could focus, breathe, and actually enjoy working. It felt like I had decluttered my brain as much as my screen. Here's the thing. The purge isn't just about stuff. It's about reclaiming your space, physical, mental, and emotional. Imagine waking up every day knowing that everything around you has a purpose, that nothing weighs you down or distracts you unnecessarily. That's what this principle offers. It's not just decluttering, it's freedom. Freedom from guilt, from overwhelm, and from the constant noise that stops you from hearing your own thoughts. And yes, it's scary. It's uncomfortable to let go of things that you've held on to for years. especially when society tells you to always want more, buy more, do more. But here's the empowering part. This isn't about loss, it's about gain. You gain clarity, you gain time. You gain the ability to say, this is my space, my energy, and I decide what's worth keeping. So here's your takeaway. Your life isn't a storage unit for stuff, stress, and obligations that don't serve you. It's your sanctuary. Treat it that way. Be ruthless in what you allow into your space, your mind, and your heart. Because when you make room for only what truly matters, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Number 2, the digital exodus. Let me hit you with a bold truth. You're addicted to your phone. And no, this isn't some self-help. You're ruining your life speech. I'm talking about how every ding, ping, and buzz pulls your focus away from what truly matters. We've all been there, right? Sitting down to get some work done, but then, oh wait, you get a notification on Instagram, then a text, then another email. Before you know it, your quick scroll turns into an hour-long rabbit hole of mindless checking. You might be thinking, but I need these apps to stay connected. Trust me, I get it. But let me introduce you to something that's going to change how you think about your digital life forever. The digital exodus. Now, I know you're probably rolling your eyes and thinking, how is this even possible? I can't just quit everything. Well, hear me out. This isn't about going off the grid or becoming a monk in the mountains. It's about choosing what deserves your time and attention. It's about the radical act of saying no to all the noise that doesn't serve your goals or well-being. Why? Because every minute you spend on distractions is a minute stolen from your potential. We're all constantly connected, but are we really present? I'm guessing you've had that moment when you look up from your phone and think, what did I even just do for the past half hour? Here's the strategy. The digital exodus isn't about quitting social media or your email entirely. It's about drastic intentionality. Start by going through your apps and notifications and asking yourself one simple question. Does this add value to my life, or is it just a distraction? Sounds simple, right? But trust me, when you start really looking at what you're consuming daily, you'll realize just how much time you've been wasting on things that don't move the needle. And here's the kicker. It's not just about cutting out the obvious distractions. It's about trimming the fat from the necessary distractions too. Those emails that could have been texts, the Slack messages that could have waited, the group chats that never really need your input. Let me give you a personal example. A few weeks ago, I found myself spiraling into an endless cycle of checking my phone whenever I had a free second. A notification would pop up, and like clockwork, I'd swipe to check it. Then I'd get sucked into scrolling through Instagram, then TikTok, and before I knew it, an hour had passed. My productivity out the window. So I decided to take drastic action. I muted notifications for everything except my messages and calendar. I deleted social media apps off my home screen, buried them deep in a folder where I had to consciously go look for them. Within a week, I noticed something amazing. I felt more in control of my time, my focus was sharper, and I wasn't mindlessly scrolling anymore. More importantly, I felt less stressed. Every time I reached for my phone, I wasn't bombarded by a million little tasks and distractions. I was in charge of my digital life for once, and it felt good. What I'm telling you is this. The digital exodus is about reclaiming your time and mental energy. It's not just a physical declutter of your devices, it's about mental space. Every time you check your phone for no reason, you're giving away a tiny piece of your peace. And when you start saying no to those digital distractions, you're saying yes to yourself, your goals, your creativity, your relationships, your mental health. This is about giving yourself the freedom to be present, to focus on what matters, and to feel grounded in a world that's constantly pulling you in 1,000 different directions. So here's your takeaway: unplug to reconnect. The next time you're feeling distracted or overwhelmed, ask yourself, is this really worth my attention right now? You have the power to say no, and when you do, you're not just saying no to distractions, you're saying yes to your peace, your clarity, and your productivity. Number 3, one in, one out rule. Here's a radical thought for you. For every new thing you bring into your life, you have to let go of something else. Sounds extreme, right? But trust me, this one in, one out rule can change how you look at everything from your physical space to your mental clutter. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Wait, how can I just get rid of things? Isn't that a bit too drastic? Well, stick with me here. I'm about to show you how this simple yet powerful rule can actually give you more freedom and peace of mind. We've all been there, right? You get a new phone or buy that new jacket you've been eyeing for weeks. You're excited for the upgrade, but then you're left with piles of stuff you don't even need. Clothes you haven't worn in a year, gadgets that just sit in a drawer, or books you'll never read again. It's like your space is slowly getting crowded with all these things that, deep down, you know aren't doing you any good. You might tell yourself you'll deal with it later, but then later never comes, and before you know it, the clutter feels like it's swallowing you whole. Here's where the one in, one out rule comes in. It's simple. The moment you decide to add something new to your life, whether it's a material object, a new commitment, or a bad habit, you must remove something of equal weight. It's like balancing the scales. Think of it as creating space for the good things in your life by removing what no longer serves you. The logic behind it? When you hold on to everything, you're really holding yourself back. Every object, every commitment, every extra task takes up precious energy and mental bandwidth. By getting rid of one thing for every new thing, you're not just creating a physical space, you're freeing up your mind to focus on what truly matters. Let me give you an example from my own life. A while back, I realized I was accumulating clothes faster than I could wear them. I'd buy a new shirt here, a jacket there, thinking, oh, this will totally fit my style. But then, every time I opened my closet, I felt overwhelmed by the choices. It was a mess. So, I decided to implement the one in, one out rule. For every new item of clothing I bought, I had to donate or get rid of something I hadn't worn in months. At first, it was tough. I'd gotten attached to certain pieces, thinking I might need them later. But the more I stuck with the rule, the more I realized that the fewer things I had, the more clarity I felt. My closet became a reflection of the things I actually loved and used. And the best part, it wasn't just about clothes, it carried over to my life in general. I started feeling lighter, more focused, and way less stressed. The emotional power in this rule is massive. It's about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your time. When you let go of what no longer serves you, whether that's physical clutter or unproductive habits, you open up room for the things that truly align with your values and goals. We're often afraid to let go of things because we think we might need them one day. But the truth is, holding on to too much is like carrying around an invisible weight that holds you back from moving forward. And I know it's hard. It feels like you're losing something. But in reality, you're gaining so much more. Freedom, clarity, and the mental bandwidth to focus on what really matters. So here's your takeaway. Next time you're tempted to buy that new gadget, take a moment and ask yourself, what will I let go of to make room for this? It's not about being extreme or minimalist for the sake of it. It's about choosing what adds value to your life and being brave enough to let go of the rest. Every time you practice the one in, one out rule, you're not just simplifying your space, you're creating the life you truly want. Number 4, the 90-day vision reset. What if I told you that in just 90 days, you could completely reset your vision for your life? Sounds a little wild, right? I mean, 90 days isn't even 3 months. So how much can really change in that short of a time? But trust me on this. What if it's the perfect amount of time to make a meaningful shift? You might be skeptical at first, but hear me out. It's not about some grand, unrealistic overhaul. It's about taking a deep breath, hitting reset, and recalibrating your path with clarity and purpose. You know the type. You've got big dreams, right? You want to crush your goals, live your best life, and make things happen. But somewhere along the way, life gets busy. You're juggling work, personal stuff, and a million tiny decisions every day that end up feeling like they're pulling you in a million directions. You wake up, do your thing, rinse and repeat. But deep down, you know you're not really moving toward that bigger vision you've always had for yourself. The to-do lists pile up, the distractions stack higher, and suddenly a whole year has gone by and you're still where you started. It's frustrating, isn't it? This is where the 90-day vision reset comes in. It's exactly what it sounds like, a structured, intentional reset of your vision for the next 90 days. That's 3 months, a nice, clean time frame that feels like it's enough to make progress, but not so long that you lose focus or momentum. But here's the twist. It's not just about setting random goals. It's about taking a step back, doing some serious soul-searching, and recalibrating everything with intentionality. Why 90 days? The psychology behind it is simple. It's long enough to see tangible changes and progress, but short enough to not feel overwhelming. It's like giving yourself a refresh button without the anxiety of having to completely overhaul your entire life. Imagine waking up every day with a clear purpose and knowing exactly what needs to happen to move you closer to that goal. You don't need to get lost in the long-term noise. You just need a 90-day roadmap that you can easily digest and execute. Here's how it worked for me. About a year ago, I found myself stuck. I'd reached a point where I had big ideas, but I was so overwhelmed by all the possibilities that I couldn't seem to make any decisions. I didn't know whether I was going left, right, or staying in the same spot. So I did what any sane person would do. I set a 90-day reset. I spent a weekend diving deep into what I actually wanted to achieve, what was truly important, and what was just extra noise. I got rid of everything that wasn't aligned with my bigger vision. Then I broke it down into bite-sized goals for each month, each week, and even each day. And by the end of 90 days, I didn't just feel like I was on the right path, I was on it. That reset completely changed my momentum and gave me the clarity I'd been craving. Now here's the emotional payoff for you. This isn't just about ticking off boxes on a goal list. The 90-day vision reset is about reclaiming your focus, your energy, and your peace of mind. It's about getting out of that mental fog where you're busy but not moving forward. We've all been there, spinning in circles, trying to make sense of it all. But when you take just a few days to reflect and reset, you're giving yourself permission to focus on what truly matters. This process allows you to take control and stop reacting to life's demands, and instead proactively pursue your bigger dreams with clarity. So, here's the bottom line. You deserve to take a step back and give yourself the space to reset. Don't let life just happen to you. The 90-day vision. Reset is your chance to reset the narrative and make the next 3 months count. It's not just about the goals. It's about putting yourself first, creating the space to grow, and making decisions that align with who you're becoming. Every single day is a chance to get one step closer to that vision you have for your life. Your time, your focus, and your energy. That's the reset. It's yours to control, and after 90 days, you'll look back and wonder why you didn't do it sooner. Number 5. The 10-minute declutter. Imagine this. You walk into a room and instantly feel overwhelmed. There's clutter everywhere. Papers, clothes, random items you've accumulated over time. And it feels like you'll never get on top of it. You think, I just don't have the time to tackle all of this. Sound familiar? I get it. I've been there too, standing in a space that just feels wrong. The mess weighs you down mentally and emotionally, but you keep putting it off, thinking it'll take hours. But what if I told you there's a simple way to tackle it, and it only takes 10 minutes? Now you might be skeptical. 10 minutes? That's too short. How could anything really change in that amount of time? Yes, trust me on this. It sounds almost too good to be true, right? But this is the beauty of the 10-minute declutter. It's not about a massive overhaul, and it's not about perfection. It's about making a small but impactful shift that can give you instant relief, clarity, and peace of mind. You know the type. You have a busy schedule, endless to-do lists, and you don't have time to dedicate hours to cleaning and organizing. We've all been there, right? Whether it's your desk, your kitchen counter, or even your closet, things pile up, and before you know it, you're stuck in a cycle of procrastination. You tell yourself, I'll clean up when I have the time, but that never seems to come. But here's the thing, that's the trap. It's a mental block, not a time issue. The 10-minute declutter is your solution. Here's the strategy. Set a timer for 10 minutes, and during that time, focus solely on one small area. It could be your desk, a drawer, or a small corner of the room. The key is that it's just 10 minutes, not long enough to feel overwhelming, but enough time to make a noticeable difference. You'd be surprised at how much can be done in just a fraction of your day. And here's the twist. Instead of trying to tackle everything at once, embrace the fact that 10 minutes is all you need right now. That mental shift from trying to do it all to just doing something is powerful. Let me tell you about the first time I tried this. I had just finished a long workday and walked into my office, where papers were scattered all over my desk. It was a mess, an embarrassing mess, honestly. But I didn't have the energy to clean the whole room. So I set a timer for 10 minutes and decided I would tackle just the desk. As the minutes ticked down, I focused only on clearing the surface. By the time the timer went off, my desk was nearly spotless. And honestly, the feeling was liberating. The room still wasn't perfect, but I had cleared out enough to make a real difference. The 10 minutes weren't about perfection. They were about making progress, and that progress felt so good. This isn't just about clearing your space. It's about clearing your mind. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by clutter, like it's this huge, never-ending task that requires hours of energy. But when you break it down into small, digestible chunks, you realize that it's not as bad as you think. This is about taking control of your environment, even if it's just for 10 minutes. It's about reclaiming your peace. So, here's the takeaway. The 10-minute declutter is a simple, actionable way to fight back against overwhelm. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. In just 10 minutes, you can make your space feel more organized, less chaotic, and more under control. And the best part, it's a tiny time investment with huge emotional payoff. Your space, your peace, and your clarity, those are all within your reach. So go ahead, set that timer, and reclaim the space you deserve 10 minutes at a time. You've got this. Number 6. Micro-dopamine detox. Have you ever felt like you just can't stop scrolling through your phone, even when you know you should be doing something else? Or maybe you've found yourself mindlessly checking your notifications every few minutes, like clockwork. What if I told you there's a simple trick you can use to break this cycle without going full-on digital detox mode? Yep, I'm talking about a micro-dopamine detox. Wait, don't click away just yet. I know it sounds a little intense, but trust me on this. This tiny shift could be a game changer. You know the type. You wake up in the morning, grab your phone, and before you even realize it, you're 20 minutes deep into Instagram Reels, wondering where the time went. We've all been there, right? That instant gratification from checking messages, scrolling through endless feeds, or refreshing apps gives you a small dopamine hit. just enough to keep you coming back for more. But what we don't realize is that these micro doses of dopamine are subtly hijacking our focus, energy, and productivity. It's like being in a constant state of emotional whiplash, and we're not even aware of it until we hit a wall. So here's the twist. Instead of trying to quit cold turkey or banish your phone from your life entirely, try a micro-dopamine detox. It's simple. Instead of checking your phone or responding to that ping the second you hear it, give yourself a micro break. For just 10 to 15 minutes, do something else that doesn't give you that instant dopamine spike. Whether it's reading a chapter of a book, doing a quick stretch, or even just sitting in silence, it's about giving your brain a little space to reset. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds easy, but can it really make a difference? Oh yes, it can. The power isn't just in the break, it's in the act of choosing to step away from the distractions and take control. Let me paint a picture for you. A few weeks ago, I was knee-deep in editing a huge project, and I had my phone next to me, buzzing every few minutes. Each notification felt like a mini distraction, pulling me away from my flow. It was honestly exhausting. So, I decided to try this micro-dopamine detox idea. Every time I felt the urge to check my phone, I took a 10-minute break to focus on something else. The first few times were a challenge, but by the end of the week, I realized I was more focused, less stressed, and, surprisingly, way more productive. That small break felt like a breath of fresh air for my brain. The funny thing, the world didn't stop because I wasn't checking my phone every 5 minutes. In fact, I felt more connected to my work and myself than ever before. Here's the thing, this is about reclaiming your space. It's about choosing to say, I control my time, my focus, and my energy. Think about it. How often do we give away our attention to every ping or notification, over-explaining ourselves or constantly multitasking, only to feel drained and scattered at the end of the day? This micro-dopamine detox isn't about denying yourself everything you enjoy. It's about giving yourself permission to pause, to breathe, and to find your rhythm again without the constant need for validation from your devices. At the end of the day, it's about showing yourself that your peace and focus matter. The more you implement these small breaks into your day, the more you'll realize just how much control you have over your own habits. The power to reset your mind is in your hands. Take that power back, one micro break at a time. Your space, your peace, your energy, it's all worth protecting. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video gave you some valuable insights into how a micro-dopamine detox can make a real difference in your focus and productivity. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Also, share this with someone who might need a little reset in their life. It could be just the thing they need. I'd love to hear your thoughts and personal experiences with this. Have you ever tried a micro-dopamine detox? What worked for you? Drop a comment below, and let's keep the conversation going. We're all in this together, and your experiences might just inspire someone else to take that first step toward reclaiming their peace. Remember, it's not about avoiding pleasure. It's about being intentional with your time and energy. You have the power to control what impacts your focus. Keep choosing what matters, and I'll see you in the next video.